Hello, Stitchy Friends. I'm Louise, and my channel is called Stitching with Grace and Delight, and this is my very first FlossTube. A little about myself. I'm 68 years old, and I live in rural northern Idaho with my husband and 6 of our children. We've been married for almost 15 years now. Our anniversary is in a couple weeks, and believe it or not, between us we have 24 children and over 35 grandchildren. My mother taught me to knit and sew and crochet and do all the crafty things, and I've enjoyed these hobbies throughout my life. I had a renewed interest in cross-stitching this year after seeing a pattern that I couldn't resist. That one pattern led in the last 4 months to over 20 WIPs and about a bag full of kitted up projects and about 50 projects on my wish list. And I'd like to start with the very first one. I love the artwork designed by Richard Lorenz. He has these crazy birds. When I found out that Heaven and Earth Designs carried some of his designs, including my favorite one that's called Family Circus, I went to my local quilt shop and kitted it up. I'm using a gridded 16 count Ada, a huge piece. And this design has over 318,000 total stitches. And, okay. This is a picture. It's called Family Circus. And I said it's got 318,000 stitches, and I've completed 1,564 for a total of 0.49%. And this is what mine looks like so far. I had no idea what I had gotten myself into, especially as my very first project. It is huge. My plan is to try and do 1,000 stitches per week if possible, at least try and put the thread in it every day. My next project is a Cocoa Quilt by Primrose Cottage. This is a picture. I don't have the stats because it's a paper pattern. And this is probably my closest thing to a finish. I still got the thread in place. And here's that. I'm using all the called for DMC. And it is on 32 count taupe Murano Lugana. And this was my first experience on linen, and, this is Lugana, but it was my first experience on anything besides Ada, and I really, really enjoy it. I think I like it even better. Next is Peace on Earth by Lila Studio. Okay, finished. It will look like this. I love working on this one. It's so much fun with all of the little designs. It has 26,393 stitches, and I've completed 1,642 for a total of 6.22%. Okay, I had to join in on Animal Cracker Fun, and I'm a Frenchie mom. We have an adorable white Frenchie named Charlie. So when I saw Scarlet, I had to stitch her. Okay. This is probably gonna flip, yep. Okay. Well, anyway, that's Scarlet. Let's see if I have stats. Okay, she has 6,031 total stitches, and I've completed 934 stitches for a total of 15.49%, and I've got her little face done, and I'm almost down to her dress. I'm excited for that. Okay, I signed up for Teresa Kogut's Patreon in March because I really love her designs. And one of the first ones that I received was Waddle's Strawberries. And I was curious to see with my eyesight if I was be able to stitch on 40 count linen. So I ordered an 1/8 of Zephyr Newcastle to give it a small try. I've only completed 46 stitches out of 5,154, and it was tricky. So I'll be completing this one a little bit at a time. I don't even know if you'll be able to see this, but this is my little baby start. Her little beak and part of her face. But I can do it. It's just very slow. Okay, so this next one, I've been on a weight loss journey, and my first goal was to get below 200 pounds. And as some of you might know, once you go below 200, it's called Wonderland. So I finally hit that goal on March 16th. And my reward was to start the Alice in Wonderland tree by Tiny Modernist. Wonderland for Wonderland. This is what the completed project will look like. And it has a total of 10,089 stitches, and I've completed 1,099 for a total of 10.89%. I'm stitching it on, I think this is 14 count Aida. And this is what it looks like. This is one of my daughter's favorite ones. She's always asking me to work on it. So much fun. And I have it in this beautiful Alice in Wonderland bag. This one I couldn't wait to start. I found the Long Dog website and I was hooked. My obvious first choice was Pandemic. You're probably familiar with that, but I will pull up a picture. This is Pandemic. I got a glorious piece of 28 count cashel linen, and the color is called Eek. Look at this. I love this linen. It's been... Anyway, Pandemic has 78,513 stitches, and I've completed 1,681 for a total of 2.14%. And this is what mine is looking like. It's so relaxing to stitch on. I'm using a cone of DMC Moline, number 3799, with a few accent colors. I don't know if I did one of my accent colors here for the bird. I have another Teresa Kogut from her Patreon from Tier 4 in March. And this is my Sunday stitch, or my Sunday church stitch. It's called Humble of Heart. And this is what the finished product will look like. I did this one on 14 count Aida so that I can see it when I'm at church without all my magnifying lights. And this is what I've done on this one so far. It has a total of 1,906 stitches, and I've completed 366 for a total of 19.2%. Okay, this is the current Fox and Rabbit stitch along, and I've kind of had it in timeout because I made some mistakes on it, and I haven't quite decided if I'm going to frog it or leave it. Okay, this is the current 4 months worth that have been released. And this is what I have so far. So far, the pattern has 3,667 stitches, and I've completed 1,470, or 40.09%. It's on 18 count teal colored Aida. Another Teresa Kogut pattern called Humble and Gentle. This was also a Patreon pattern. And this is what this one will look like. Oh my. There we go. That's what that one will look like completed. And I just have the bones done on this one. It has 24,245 stitches, and I've completed 867, or 3.58%. And I've got it on 32 count Belfast linen, and I believe it is vintage country mocha. This is what she's looking like. Got the border, or the main border, and then I just started working on the little flowers. Okay, the next one is a witchy stitcher that's been pretty popular lately. And this one, when my daughter saw this, she said, "Oh mom, can you please make that for me? I will hang it in my room." It is the difference between medicine and poison. And let me try and quickly find a picture of it. It won't come up on my pattern keeper. That's kind of give you an idea. I don't have as much as I'd like done on this one because I had to frog a whole bunch of it because it is so much fun stitching on black. And this is on Ada, 14 count Ada, because of my eyesight. Out of 16,948 stitches, I've only completed 237, or 1.4%. And that's what she's looking like. My second long dog is a smaller one that I'm stitching in honor of our 15th anniversary. It's called Secret Admirer. This is what this one's going to look like. My husband is visually impaired. He's almost totally blind. So I wanted to stitch something that I was hoping that he might be able to see. And his favorite color has always been this dark red color. It is stitched on Weeks Dye Works linen, Aztec red, 32 count. Sorry, this one is not ironed. That's how much I've done on that. Working on the top section. I purchased the linen at Shepherd's Bush in Ogden when we were down there recently. It has 6,235 stitches, and I've completed 108, or 1.73%. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it in the next couple weeks, but hopefully soon. My final Teresa Kogut is her Tier 4 America the Beautiful Stitch Along. I just started working on it this past week. This is a partial picture. It kind of cut off the top of it. And the top part is the part that I've stitched, so you'll see what that looks like. I was stitching on this today, so. And there you go. The next installment is due in a couple of days. So that's been my primary project the last couple of days. And it has so far a total of 6,076 stitches, and I've completed 736 for a total of 12.11%, which means I have 5,340 stitches that I don't think is going to get done in the next few days. My birthday stitch is from Praiseworthy Stitches, and I have it in this beautiful project bag that I purchased on Etsy from So Much to Love. And this one actually has 2 starts. My initial purchase was a piece of 32 count haunted linen, haunted Belfast linen and it was gorgeous. I loved it until I tried to stitch on it, and it was very dark, and I had a lot of trouble because I was just getting used to stitching on linen. I just couldn't see the holes. So I ordered a big piece of 16 count Aida, also in haunted color linen, and I was doing really much better with that, and I learned how to backlight. But all was well until I got to the words that are stitched on it, and they had 1/2 and 1/4 stitches. I tried to make it work on it, but this Aida is so soft that it just wasn't cooperating. So I don't know. I can't decide. So this is what I had done so far, and you can see I kind of just did the best I could trying to stitch the words. Okay, this is what the finished one looks like. So I was getting frustrated. So I went back, and once again, I'm trying to do it on this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous haunted linen. And I just have a little bit done. It's the moon. I can't decide which one to stick with. So they're both here in my bag. Like many others, I joined in on the Needle Lot Stitch Along Life at the Cottage. I'm almost done with part 1, and I snuck in a little bit of part 2. Here's a picture of the first 2 parts. Okay, this is Life at the Cottage. Out of the released 3,153 stitches, I've completed 1,700 for a total of 53.92%. This is what it's looking like. For part 1, I still need to do the rest of the tree, and there's a little bumblebee over here, and then as you saw, part 2 will be the rabbit. I've kind of got sucked into all the stitch alongs, also including the new Lola Crow stitch along, Museum After Midnight. She released the frame along with the skeleton of a whale a few days ago, and I've just barely started on this one. The stitch count so far is 6,307, and I've done 255 stitches, or 4.04%. And this is on 32 count Royal Haven by Barefoot Needle Art. It's the called for linen. And this is going to be hard to see because of I haven't gotten any of the dark color in on it yet, but it shows the bones of the whale. If you can see it. Here is a picture of the frame. And we have 6 weeks to complete that. My Nashville pick was All Things Wise and Wonderful by Heartstrings Samplery. I took a chance and I got 36 count Modena Even Weave in the color Buttermilk by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm using all the called for floss, 1 strand over 2. And it's my first time doing 1 strand. And the 36 count has been really tough, but I'm just going to take it a little bit at a time because it's a gorgeous, gorgeous sampler. And this is what it looks like. I just love it. I've already got her other 2 on my wish list. Anyway, I do not have a stitch count because it's a paper pattern. So far, the little angel that I'm doing is in very light colors. I'm hoping with the darker colors, it'll be a little bit easier to see, but this is what I've got done so far. Just a little angel. She's right in the middle, right there. One of the first floss tubes that I binged on was the Huga Stitcher. I loved seeing all of her beautiful Mirabellas and her Alforus projects. because of those, these are the two final WIPs that I'm going to show you. The first one is an owl forest called Treasure Island. And I had a hard time getting a good picture of this because on the pattern, it just shows the blank frame showing you where, because it initially was a stitch along. But I found this. It's a little bit hard to see. Treasure Island by Owl Forest. This picture has the Russian words at the top, and I'm doing the English words, but here's my board. I do not have a stitch count, but so far I've been working on the banner, the first little stitch along section. It's lots of fun. I cannot wait to be able to do the little pirates and the little pirates that are all around, if you can see them on there. I can't wait to get to that part. And I am using the DMC conversion. I wish I could get the Owl Forest threads, but right now that's not feasible. I've completed about 1,150 stitches, and I do not have an accurate percentage because the way that it downloaded the stitch along, it's saying that it has over 1 million stitches, and I know that's not correct. And the next one is my Mirabella, and I am doing Blossom. Okay, here's Blossom, and she is on 32 count white chalk linen in Peaceful Purple, and I have a very small start on her. Slow and steady. The paper pattern on this one is challenging for me because it's printed on this off-white color that's really hard for my eyes. But I've got a small start on the bottom of her gown. I'm using the called for DMC. I did purchase a few NPI silks to try out for some little accents like on her hair and things. And then I do have one more, the one that I was stitching on today. Like I said, we made a trip down to Ogden, Utah, and I got to go to my first needlework store. It's not really local, it's 10 hours away, but it was amazing. Shepherd's Bush. And while I was there, among other things, I fell in love with their beautiful Christmas stockings. So my plan is to make 8 of them for the 8 people that are in our household right now. And the first one that I'm working on is Olaf. And this is what he will look like. And it is on the called for 20 count natural linen by Weichelt, using DMC Pearl Cotton and Weeks Dye Works Pearl Cotton. And this is such an easy stitch. I do not need a magnifier on this one. And this is how much I have done on Olaf. I will be going down to Shepherd's Bush again in May for my daughter's homeschool graduation. So I will probably be picking up another stocking or 2, have them kitted up while I'm there. Now I would like to share a few things in my haul pile. The first one is the Forbidden Fiber Company subscription linen, and I just received this a few days ago, and at first I was disappointed because it just looked like it was white, but I emailed the company and they told me to take another look. It's called Polar Ice. I'm going to clip it on here and see if you can see the shading on it. They said that normally they have very bright fabrics, but they wanted to have a change of pace, and it actually has some very pale blue. It is 32 count Belfast linen. It's called Polar Ice. Next is my thrift store find. I stopped into our local thrift store for the first time treasure hunting for needlework. And they had a really small needlework section. And I was about to just give up and leave when at the very bottom of their little basket, I saw this. And it wasn't very fancy. It's by Little House Needleworks. And I almost let it go and I didn't look further. But when I picked it up and I turned it over, inside was Classic Colorworks Belle Soie 12-stranded spun silk, ocean tide, hand-dyed floss. It was marked 99 cents. So I dug through a little more and I found 3 more, all with the floss. So there was Weathered Vine, Vanilla Pudding, Ocean Tide, and Cinnamon Stick. They're very over-dyed. Beautiful, beautiful. So anyway, they were marked 99 cents each, but when I went to pay, the green stickers were half off. So I got 4 of these for $1.96. I was so excited. Only another stitcher could share my joy. Next, I would like to share this beautiful, beautiful project bag that I received this week. It was made by the Crow River Stitcher on she's the Crow River Stitcher on FlossTube, but on Etsy, she's called She's So Sassy. I saw this one and I had to have it. It got here super fast and look at it. It's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. This is all machine embroidered. This is the back. Inside. Oh, these are all patch sewed. Inside, gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I will try to put links for some of these things. On my next FlossTube, I hope to share what's in my bag of kitted up projects. It's packed full, including the one which is going to be the reward for my next weight loss goal. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've been pretty nervous. This is like my 5th try. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back soon.